Hi, welcome back. This is Kim Cook from Bread of Life Mission. And I am,
All right, and Bruce Butler.
hey,
All right, Union Gospel Mission Dallas.
hey, Bruce, it's nice to see you.
It's nice to see you. Good to see you now. I apologize. The last time I was in Seattle, was going to come by and see your wonderful mission and just ran out of
I heard
time.
you were pretty busy that week.
Yeah, Scott Chin, he worked us real
I
hard,
heard that.
but we enjoyed
Yeah.
ourselves.
Yeah. So, how are things in Dallas tonight? What's the weather like down there?
Weather now is wonderful. It's probably about 75 degrees now. And for us with the sundown, that's good.
Yeah.
During the day, it was 84. It felt like 90. I was miserable.
I'm quite jealous, actually. It's a little chilly
Oh,
here, but not as bad as January.
well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good. How the conversations been?
They've been excellent. Yeah, I've had some really great people sitting on the bench. How about you?
It's been good. We've had representatives from the mayor's office. We've had an author. We've had most of our major um, sister type organizations in the
Mm-hmm.
city. And of course, talking to many wonderful Citygate Networks CEOs.
That's great. Yeah, I just had a call with Aaron from Portland and Scott from Yakima, and so we did a call with the three of us. It was really good. So
Well, that's
yeah.
cool. Are you seeing any trends? I know for us, one of the trends that we're seeing is we're having a lot of people asking some, um, believe it or not, economic type questions.
Really?
A lot of questions about inflation and how inflation is affecting poverty and homelessness.
Hmm. What are you seeing around that?
What we're seeing is a great increase in people that are saying all around the country the cost of living is going way up
Mm-hmm.
from a one bedroom modest apartment in Detroit around $1,800 a year, uh, closer to 1,600. I mean, I said a year, a month,
Mm-hmm.
1,600 a month in Fort Worth, probably 17 to 18
Mm-hmm.
a month in Dallas,
Mm-hmm.
and probably closer to 2,500 when you get to the West Coast
Mm-hmm.
in
I,
California.
I would say that's
And
about
we
what
just
it
came to the
is.
conclusion people can't afford it.
Yeah, exactly. I would say that's about what it is here for a one bedroom. It's pretty pricey. Um,
The 2,500?
yeah, yeah. Coming
Wow.
from upstate New York, like we sold a house there, a four-bedroom house, and came out here and couldn't afford to buy a house. Like it is really expensive. Um, yeah,
Right.
so I see why people are on the streets. Once you lose an apartment and or lose a job, forget it. Hmm.
Right. And then, obviously a lot of conversation around poverty, and we're kind of coming to the conclusion that the first type of poverty that people have is poverty of a
Oh,
relationship.
that is so true. We've talked about that a lot. I really think that that's what homelessness is about, a lack of relationships.
Right. Because once that safety net goes,
Hmm.
uh, once you spiral down, it's hard to get all the way back up.
Hmm.
And it's it really, uh, for precious ladies with children, it's even tougher
Hmm.
because you take the average guy. Um, in general, we're kind of simple. We can eat a little bit of whatever and kind of make it and maybe scrape around and get back on your feet. But most time it's that dear woman that's left with those two or three kids
Yep.
and trying to make it.
Yep.
So you add daycare and everything else on top of it,
Hmm.
it's almost
Yep.
impossible.
And possibly an ex or two who are in and out of the picture and dragging them back into what they knew. Yeah, there's a lot of baggage with women and women with children. It's really hard.
Right. What are y'all seeing with your rates of homelessness?
They're still going up here. Seattle is number 3 in the country, I believe, for homelessness, after L.A. and San Francisco. And if you do
Wow.
it per capita, we would be number 1.
Yeah.
So it is not an enviable stat to have for your city.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dallas is not that bad. We're probably somewhere in the middle,
Mhm.
but we still are seeing challenges.
Mhm.
I think they're doing pretty good job of addressing the people that were here. And
Mhm.
if we could somehow play, that cakewalk game and said the music stopped and you got to stay where you are, um, we could solve the issue for the people we have.
Mm.
But it feels like you help one person and 2 or 3 new ones show up.
Yeah. Um, I've just totally lost my train of thought. I had a question for you. Oh, what do they do in Dallas around? Like, are you seeing encampments and tents on the street there?
You know, um, Similar to other parts of the country, especially after uh, some of the uh, presidential moves, um, and possibly even getting ready for the World Cup. Uh, the city of Dallas has made a concerted effort to try to end homelessness in the downtown corridor.
Mm.
As a matter of fact, the statement was made that the city of Dallas about 3 months ago had effectively ended homeless in the downtown corridor.
Hmm.
So they're trying to push people out farther and farther and get them into shelters as much as possible, and trying to find other creative
Hmm.
ways for housing, but it really isn't there. And I know for us personally, it's it's kind of difficult to be everything that the city would like us to be,
Hmm.
because of, obviously, we have some goals of really trying to help people get out of homelessness versus just warehousing them forever. And I think if they had it their way, we would just bring everybody in, uh, try to keep them out of sight, and take care of them forever.
Yeah.
We want to love on people and take care of them, but we want, uh, hopefully, for them to partner with us
Hmm.
so that they can get back out on their own, and get a hand up and not just a hand out forever.
Yeah. Yeah, when you said ending homeless in the downtown corridor, I thought, well, that sounds like moving homelessness. It doesn't necessarily
It
sound like it's ended, it's just moved.
Yeah, but in fairness, right now, you, no educated study,
Hmm.
but uh, my guess is we are probably at least 10, 15 years uh, behind where you are in dealing with this
Yeah.
crisis. It's bad here, but not as bad as it is in Seattle, Portland,
Hmm.
San Francisco, Oakland, etc. So I don't think we've came to the realization fully that you can't just um, move
Yeah.
people around. And they aren't trying to just move them around. They're
That's
hoping
good.
somehow someone somewhere else will have space for them
Hmm. Yeah.
without getting to the core issues
Hmm.
that resulted in the homelessness.
Yeah. Well, here, I really feel like, I talked to Caitlin McKinney last year, and I said, what needs to happen right away? And she said, we need 2,500 beds here in Seattle, like emergency beds, just to get people off the street. And that's just for the people who would come in. So, that's a lot of beds to add. Um, but we need to get people in and triage them, and get a
Right.
pipeline going. And right now, I don't feel like we have a pipeline. There's a lot of kinks in the pipe, and we have to straighten that
That's
out
true.
and make it easier for people to find help.
But y'all, while we were in Seattle early in the year, we did see some of the good things that the Seattle
Mm.
Mission and others were doing.
Mm-hmm.
We actually went out on search and rescue with some of the people
Mm-hmm.
there, and and our president of Citygate Network, Tom DeVries, went out with us too, and I saw some things that were creative.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was really interesting the RV parks you have, where people will take the RVs that maybe aren't street worthy anymore,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess they work with some of the property owners to actually set them up and allow people to live in
Mm.
them. So I thought that was creative.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, we definitely have a
But
lot of people living in RVs here.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not saying that's ideal, the
Mm-hmm.
solution, but you get to Texas where it's a little bit warmer. Um, there are people in tents in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
I I think I'd rather be in the RV.
Yeah, maybe. Um, so you guys have the World Cup coming next year, or FIFA, right? Is that what you were
Right.
talking about? Yeah, so we do too, and I know Brandon in Houston does. So that'll be. We should
Right.
talk about that and see what each of the cities are doing, and because we're
Well,
right here, we are like from the street corner back here. I can see the stadium. It's about, I
yeah.
don't know, three blocks down. So we're right on the corridor. So I'll be interested to see what happens in the next year to prepare for that.
Well, the cleanup efforts in Dallas are already
Mm-hmm.
underway. Um, and I can honestly say, I think people are really trying to figure it
Yeah.
out. But it's going to take our wonderful leaders working together, and
Mm-hmm.
quite frankly, some of that arm wrestling to reallocate funds in the community different
Mm-hmm.
ways.
Yeah.
And
And I think it's
and
important to look at it as an ongoing problem. Like we don't need to just solve it for that time period. We need to put the resources there to make sure that it doesn't come back. It's not just a temporary sweep.
right,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of from some of the conversations we were having, well, we might need some basic finance or economic classes too. I was chatting with someone earlier, and we were talking about the fact, you know, at the surface level, if someone says we're going to raise the minimum wage to 25, 35, $40 an hour, I mean, that sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
But when you run that through uh, the
Reality.
financial through reality and the financials of a business, it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what adds to the hyperinflation,
Mm-hmm.
and that increases the price of housing.
Oh yeah.
So it's kind of a catch 22.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I'm all for a living wage. I really want our guys to have a living wage, uh, and be sustainable. But it's not
Right.
sustainable for many businesses. So we've got to figure that out. What is
Right.
minimum wage there?
You know, it's way too low. I think it's under $10
No.
in Texas.
No, really?
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you know here in
There
Seattle,
there
I think Seattle is
well,
2075.
they just told me in my ears 725 and down.
And here in Seattle it's 2075.
Yeah. Now from a practical point of view, um, you got to at least pay $15 an
Mhm.
hour, and at the mission we do much better than that.
Yeah.
We have wonderful donors. We want the best staff possible.
Mhm.
We still can't compete with corporate America, but we try hard to say, look, no one's can go work at Whataburger or Burger King, wonderful organization, but they can't go work there and make more
Mhm.
money, entry level than working for
Mhm.
us. That's, to me, we need to do more in the name of God to
Mhm.
try to 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 compensate people.
Right.
And we made a concerted effort the last several years to make sure that everybody at least makes,
Hmm.
$15, $20 an
Yeah,
hour.
I really
But
believe
but
that
that's tough.
if we aren't paying a living wage to our staff, we're part of the problem, not the solution.
Right.
Hmm.
And then the other part, as faith-based organizations, I believe strongly in that holistic approach. And hear me well, I'm not saying everyone has to be married, but the 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 financial situations, the way biblically God set things up,
Hmm.
most people weren't intended to be by themselves. And if you're by yourself, all of those living expenses, etc., are on
Yeah.
you. It's it's
It's
better
harder to live separate.
if you can find
Yeah.
someone.
It's harder to live alone. There are a lot of, I guess, efficiency type apartments here. So there's actually a lot of space for people to move in for like one person. Um, but yeah, it still costs an awful lot, and we're just finding it really hard to uh, pay the staff what we know they need and what they're worth in this setting. It is very expensive, and we're having to pay taxes. There's a new thing here in Washington where we're having to pay taxes on like on our IT services and stuff like that. So our costs just went up. It started October
Wow.
1st, and our
Taxes on IT service.
yeah, like marketing and IT, like we used to as a nonprofit not have to pay that. Just October 1st, they said, okay, you got to pay that now. So that's hitting our budget in a tough way.
Wow. So that's some kind of state
That's
tax?
state. Yep.
Oh. Ooh, well, see, we're in the free land of Texas where there's no state income tax.
Yeah, we
Now,
don't
they
have
kind of
income
tighten us
tax
up with
here.
property tax, but not state income.
Yeah, we don't have income tax here, but a lot of the other taxes are pretty high. So it's
Mm.
definitely an expensive place to live, and it's impacting homelessness. But it certainly isn't the only thing. You know, the fentanyl crisis is just out of control here. How
Right.
about there?
And it's getting worse in Dallas.
Hmm.
Worse. One of my son's classmates from high school a couple years died from a fentanyl overdose. He thought he was just smoking marijuana.
Yeah.
Was talking to one of my chaplains, and a lot of the people we minister to, because I think I was in that fentanyl
Yes.
documentary a year or so ago,
Hmm.
and before I went out to, I believe it was San
Hmm.
Francisco or San Diego. No, I think it was San Diego to do some of that filming. I
Hmm.
just asked some of the people in the mission what was their interaction with fentanyl and how were they using it, et cetera. And back then, um, I just saw a room full of about 200 guys looking scared to
Hmm.
death, and that immediately let me know uh, in Texas and Dallas they were going out looking for it,
Mm.
uh, but because of some other addictions and things that were taking place, they still wanted their other drug of
Right.
choice, and, um, and they were taking the risk of it potentially being laced with fentanyl.
Hmm. Yeah, the drug supply here, or all over really, is completely contaminated. We lost one of our guys too that went out and uh, thought he was just partying with some weed and ended up dying of a fentanyl overdose. So we see that all the time here. None of the drugs are safe. Yeah,
Right. So
yeah.
we definitely need our leaders to uh, keep a hold on the border and some of that influx of drugs. In Texas, the drugs, uh, the human trafficking, etc.
Hmm.
It all kind of rolled together.
Yeah, you guys are down there
That's
near the
kind of the
border. We're up at this border.
oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's bad coming
Well,
in both ways. Drugs, the fentanyl.
oh yeah, oh yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I didn't realize how uh, open the Canadian border was, and what there's that one park that you can, I think it's Unity Park,
Yeah.
something like that's the name of it, where you can go through that park and just walk through
Yeah.
with very little resistance.
Yeah, I thought that documentary was really helpful, and I learned a lot from it. And actually, I had Chief Amy Barden here earlier. She was in
Yeah.
that as well, and so we've been talking about that
Oh,
documentary. So
for sure. Well, tell her and her husband that Bruce in Dallas says hello.
I will let them know. Anything else you want to talk about?
Uh, when I come back to Seattle, you need to take me to a good fish place.
Okay.
We had some good fish there. Seafood is my favorite food. Y'all have some of the best. I'm looking for that. Went to the first Starbucks, got me a good Starbucks.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, can you ship me one of those right now? It's almost midnight. I really need it.
I don't do Starbucks too often. I've got another coffee place around the corner, and that's my go-to place, Umbria, and they're helping us out this week. So,
All right.
yeah.
Well, we don't want to mess you up.
But
we want to thank them.
the seafood,
All
let me
right.
tell you, I grew up in the Maritime Provinces in New Brunswick, Canada, and I don't like seafood. So here I am in Seattle, not a seafood lover, but I do like every now and then some good fish and chips. So I'll
All
take
right.
you.
Well, when we go to see the wonderful people at Seattle Rescue Mission, we're going to take a visit with you,
Yep.
and we'll fish and chips or something.
Yep, we'll do that for sure. And
Uh,
who knows when I'll get down to Dallas, but I love that city. I don't know if I told you this, but when I was 18, I spent 6 months in Plano, and
oh, okay.
loved it there. Loved it. So yeah, Dallas is a great place.
Well, good. Well, I check you out and your husband as y'all are traveling all around, so that's kind of
Yeah,
neat.
you watch us on Facebook. We're travelers for sure, and now our kids are in, uh, Kentucky, New Jersey, and New Brunswick, Canada. So we have to travel a lot to go see family. So we're all over the place.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got to go up to Toronto
I saw
and
that.
see Peter a couple months ago, so we had a good time.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite people. So anyway,
All right. Well, God bless you. You be safe. Have some good
thank
conversations.
you.
And we're almost halfway.
We are really. I'm not even paying attention to time. I'm just
All
like,
right.
who's the next one? Who's the next one? So, Bruce, it was so good to catch up with you. Good luck on the rest of the bench. And for my viewers, we're going to go to a quick break, and we'll be back in a little while. So, thanks a lot, Bruce.
We're going to do the same in Texas.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right. Take care.